Each year, the interest in the University of Colorado's Greek system attracts more freshmen, and fall recruitment has become a staple in showing the possibilities Greek life can offer. But with the addition of new members, hazing increases dramatically, and CU is tackling this problem head-on.
If it just makes you uncomfortable, it's hazing.
We have Greek 101. All the new members go to, and all of the exec board goes to, and all the pledged trainers go to. And you have talks through the IFC about hazing, and it defines what hazing is, what to look out for, how to deal with hazing, who to talk to. And that sets standards.
CU knows all too well the risks that come with hazing. When in 2004, Gordy Bailey, a freshman here at CU, pledged the Chi Psi fraternity and was hazed by his older brothers, being forced to drink too much alcohol. This captured the attention of school officials when he was found dead the next morning on the fraternity's couch. Following Gordy's death, the Chi Psi fraternity was kicked off campus. Fraternities were no longer affiliated with the school, and CU began to educate its students on the risks of hazing. Part of this mandatory education program CU initiates is watching a Gordy Bailey video explaining the dangers of hazing.
Watching the Gordy Bailey video and realizing that this really did happen at a chapter here recently at CU makes it a reality and just really hits home to students here that, oh, this really does happen and it really could happen and I need to look out for that.
Moving forward from 2004, the Greek system and the school is promoting a haze-free environment.
Now, as a progression, you see people who haven't gone through it, and therefore they appreciate that so much that they want to make sure that the new pledges understand that, and understand that they're in a fraternity for all the right reasons. Hazing is not one of them. Hazing doesn't belong in there. Hazing will never be a part of it.
Just kind of lay the foundation of what being in a sorority is all about. So we focus on sisterhood and philanthropy and campus activities and just getting to know each other in a really healthy setting.
The Gordy Bailey Video and Hazing Education Program is just one of the unique characteristics to CU's Greek life. For News Team Boulder, I'm Anna Zook.
Go to a few meetings. It happened to some girls on Panhandle. It's not uncommon.
So, and then along with that, we educate them on kind of like what we don't do. So, you know, we don't haze, we don't advocate for drinking, we don't, you know, we don't make each other uncomfortable, we don't put each other in risky situations.
And so
overall, everyone kind of understands the effects of it. Is that you can lose your chapter. People can be sued, and that and people can die, which is obviously the worst part. And no one wants to see someone, you know, someone lose their life over it.
So CU definitely tries to educate the members on what exactly is hazing.
So
Yeah, well, I think CU has done is doing a great job about educating the chapters on what hazing looks like. Yeah, so hazing is just anything that makes a member uncomfortable. So I'm a member, I'm the president, like my seniors could still haze me if I felt uncomfortable with something that they were doing. You know, it doesn't have to necessarily be initiated members using alcohol to make pledges feel uncomfortable. You know, it could be a wide variety of things, as like minute as scavenger hunts. Like.
And giving a bad relationship with the school. I think that since the fraternities have been trying to create such a good relationship with the schools, that hazing is such a step back too. That we really want to keep a good relationship. So you know, so we're not trying to fight a higher power than us. People have really seen what happens when you haze.
Mm-hmm.
And no one really wants that to happen again. And no one wants to see people die. No one wants to get CU a bad name. We all love our school. We don't want it to go in the news as that. And I think that going back to the Gordy Bailey thing, I think everyone kind of sees what exactly hazing is and what it does, and no one really wants that anymore. The IFC board being as strong as it is, and not only setting regulations on fraternities, but actually really willing to crack down on them is what's going to stop people from hazing, because no one's going to haze in order to risk their social their social agenda for a whole semester or a whole year, or for that matter get kicked off campus, which they have done. If you look at Delta Chi, they did get kicked off for hazing. That is so big, the reputation. So since IFC acts on it, I think the fraternities are scared of doing that, and I think now over the last 4 years, I think that's why you've seen hazing diminish so much, and now it's really not only something that doesn't happen, but something that's ultimately frowned upon. Communication's key. When we have kids who when we have new students that just join and they go through their pledge period, we talk to them and make sure they understand what hazing is, and that it's not going to be done. Moving forward from the Gordy Bailey incident and stuff, I think the members who joined, who are now seniors now, and the older members, I think they understand why hazing is so bad.
So new members go through what's called a new member program, and we educate them we just educate them up on CAIO and our ideals and standards, and the CU standards come into play then. So they go through the Greek Life EDU, which is an online program to teach them about what hazing looks like and what it is, and alcohol's effects on the body, and the bystander effect, and all types of issues surrounding hazing. They also watch a Gordy Bailey video and Greek 101. I think that teenagers and just young people in general kind of have this ideal that, oh, it couldn't happen to me, not my friends, not my house, not me. But watching the unfortunately, in the Greek system, sometimes alcohol is prevalent, and sometimes just in those social settings, unfortunately, like there are times when members do feel uncomfortable, and that's what hazing is. And it's, the 40-day new member period, we really try and just
I think there's a lot of emphasis on the situation of Gordy Bailey in 2004. I think that carries a lot of weight in the chapter's decisions to not haze. I think that a couple years ago it was kind of established that it wasn't really acceptable to haze, and so from there on forward, fraternities felt like if they did do that, they were, putting themselves in a bad light in the media. Overall, I think hazing is an old school thing. I think that some schools hold on to it a lot longer than we have. But I guess really overall the thing is that people. And basically, when you haze, and kind of going back to the previous question, when you haze, it's going to attract media attention. And when the school sees media attention about that, we know how bad that is. When the school sees negative media attention about Greek system, and therefore the IFC knows now to take action against that right away, because every fraternity is different. My fraternity is very. We make sure that we have people in positions on the executive board and so forth, especially those who deal with the pledges day in and day out, and make sure they know that they can communicate to us, and they can say, hey, I feel like maybe this was hazing. So I think that when you have open communication like that, is that everyone kind of knows what's going on, as opposed to having, say, a few members of a fraternity hazing one of the new members, and no one really understanding it all. I think new member being able to speak out about it is key, and I think preaching communication for them is going to help. Also, our fraternity has a national hotline that you can actually call if you feel like you've been hazed or you're not sure. And the thing about that is that really puts anyone in check. And for us, it wouldn't be worth it to risk losing a chapter over it. And this is a big deal. Other fraternities around the campus, I believe, do pretty much similar things. And I think having communication all starts there. I think that now moving forward from 2004 in I think they appreciate and respect the fact that they weren't hazed. And anyone who wasn't hazed wouldn't really want to carry that on. There's a reason why we join houses that don't haze. There's a reason why we stick through pledgeship, because we want to learn. We want to learn more, and we're not trying to. Obviously, no one's going to go through and be hazed. So I the thing is, it makes national news when it's about drinking, and the reason being is, drinking or drugs or those can lead to death so much more often. But and I think obviously sororities here don't face it whatsoever, and I think they've done a terrific job of it. But other schools, sororities do face it in terms of poking fun at their members. But I mean, that's really the whole thing behind hazing is someone being forced to go and do something which they don't want to do. Unfortunately, at other schools, sometimes that can mean things that can lead to death or serious injury. Well, it's really frowned upon, and like I said earlier, a lot of that is because of the Gordy Bailey incident, but also a lot of it is just people getting older and people seeing things and realizing the effects of it. The thing is that I think that the Greek system has a lot of pride, especially the fraternities. I think they want to make a difference. A lot of them do. I mean, we have so much going on. We have so much to offer in terms of philanthropies, in terms of teaching new students qualities about being a gentleman and qualities of being a better student and so forth. We have great GPAs between the Greek system, or among the Greek system rather. And I think there's a lot to offer there, and I think that's why people join. And obviously no one joins to be hazed. The thing with our, say, seniors right now is that we've all kind of experienced what it's like to go through a fraternity that doesn't haze. All of us understand that, all of us respect that, none of us would want to give that up. And so I think that a lot of us think, hey, if I had this experience, an amazing experience in the Greek system through college, without hazing, why would we want to push for hazing? A lot of chapters around this campus have been kicked off in the past for hazing. You look around in the past, clearly Chi Psi is a pretty recent one. Delta Chi is the most recent. SAE was kicked off, Kappa Sigma, and I mean, there's been other ones too. So because they know that they have to enforce those laws. One, IFC's watching them. Two, all the newcomers understand the rules. And if you did try to haze and a newcomer didn't like it, then potentially you would endanger your chapter, and no one's going to put that at risk. I think that the IFC being so powerful in the sense of actually being able to act and being able to enforce restrictions on those chapters who have disobeyed the laws, I think that really plays a big factor in reducing the hazing. And I think now that people have seen the effects of it, I think that overall just members of the Greek system don't want to see any more of that. First with losing their chapters, but also with losing people who could be their best friends. Yeah, they do. I think it's funny because whenever I watch a movie about, about the Greek system, especially if I'm with, people who aren't Greek, it's hard to watch because you know that they're buying into everything they're saying, and I'm sitting there thinking this isn't what it's like at all to be in a fraternity. They do glorify it because it's funny, and I mean it's funny on TV in a movie that's fictional and things aren't happening, but it's a bad image for fraternities. The thing is then and now is very different too, in terms of how people are doing things and what people are doing at parties, and the heightened awareness of it, of excessive drinking, or overall just hazing or forcing people to do things. So yeah, it's frustrating to watch those movies, because although it's funny, it is very detrimental to any Greek system at any school, because you have parents and you have members, anyone who's not in the Greek system, and you have the school, anyone on a school is trying to protect their image and their reputation, understandably so. Is then they look at it and think, okay, well, these fraternities, symbolize, men who aren't accomplished, men who are just coming to college to goof off and not be studious, and who want to join a fraternity to haze kids for 4 years because it's funny. But really, there's so much more the Greek system has to offer, and it does hide that a lot. Really, it could be anything from being forced to consume alcohol or drugs, to, in my opinion, being excessively made fun of or yelled at, for no, for just for the sake of someone getting enjoyment out of it.